Okay, guys, so welcome to Empower to Lead Team Call for August 2nd. I just have a couple quick updates that I want to cover before we get started. So first and foremost, this is Team Cup month. And if you guys didn't see the live video that I did last night, I would suggest that you go watch it because I talk all about the Go for No challenge that we're going to do as a team, and just some tips about how to form with people, adding value, inviting, and just some things that I thought might be helpful for you in terms of setting goals for yourself and for your team cup teams. I'm just curious who watched that video. Was it helpful? Kelly. Okay, well, it's there, so hopefully it is helpful if you go watch it.
I promise.
Okay, but I'm not going to cover all about the Go for No challenge and all that kind of stuff right now, but hopefully that will help you with some Team Cup ideas. And I wanted to make sure that everybody, in case you didn't see in the team page, that not only are challenge packs to Success Club points right now, just like always, but Daily Sunshine is the new kids smoothie that we just launched at Summit. And they're also doing 2 Success Club points for HD orders of that right now, which is absolutely awesome. If you have people that you know their kids are really picky eaters and they struggle with nutrition, I personally just ordered it for my little guy to hopefully fill the nutrition gaps, and hopefully that he'll want junk food less, right? Similar concept, when you're talking about that is a lot like Shakeology, is when little kids are getting the dense nutrition that their body needs, that they're gonna likely crave junk food less and obviously have stronger immune systems. Fun fact for you guys that I just read the other night, I read that 80% of your immune system is built in your gut health. So really highlighting the fact that has the pre and probiotics in it, to really help boost kids' immune systems, I think is huge, especially if you're a nutrition nerd. But if you're not, like most people don't know much about that, it's a really great thing to tell people about. So long-winded rant there, but Daily Sunshine is going to be 2 Success Club points for this month as well. I don't know if that will continue on, but for Team Cup month, that's a huge opportunity for you guys. Now, keep in mind, if you didn't look at the Team Cup, the FAQ about it and how the point system works and all that, remember that you do also get points when coaches on your team rank advanced. So if somebody achieves Emerald or somebody bumps up to Ruby or Diamond, the sponsor coach and that coach, I believe, gets Success Club points for that as well. So just a really fun opportunity for us all to work together, help a ton of people, and move our businesses forward this month. The next thing is that we did a sneak peek last Sunday night, which was really awesome. We did it in a Zoom format just like this. And it was really cool for the people on to just kind of experience the vibe of our team and be able to share face-to-face with people about what we do. So I suggested, I don't know if you saw when I posted it in the team page, but keep that on hand. I personally save it to my browser so that when I want to find them, I easily can. But that is an awesome thing for you to have on hand to be able to shoot people in a private message, especially if you're newer and you're struggling to really share the opportunity. You can kind of use that as a tool to help you share it with confidence, right? The next thing is that our new coach boot camp, been working on revamping that. Myself and a couple of the other coaches on the team are actually going to be starting to bring back new coach boot camp calls, to hopefully feel more connected and more sense of community for newer coaches, so that you have the opportunity to ask questions, to do a live power hour on calls. But that's how it was done when I started, and a lot of the veteran coaches on this team. So we're bringing that back now. So make sure that you tag your new coaches to be in there, or if you are a new coach, that you hop in that, because the post will start Saturday and it kicks off on Monday. So I just wanted to make sure you know that. And the last thing is that the diamond bonus pool opportunity is going on right now. So up until this point in time, for Star Diamond ranks only, we're able to have the opportunity to earn quarterly bonuses. And basically what that means is when you hold a given rank, whether it's 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and above, for at least 6 weeks within a quarter, you have the opportunity to earn quarterly bonuses from Beachbody. But now at Summit, they announced that there's going to be a diamond bonus pool. So if you are somebody, even if you're an Emerald coach right now, I've seen coaches hit diamond in less than a month. I've seen, coaches take a couple months. It depends on you and the pace you're working and what your goals are. But that is an awesome opportunity for you guys. If you are pushing to diamond, to lock that in and hold that for the 6-week qualification period, because the diamond bonus is going to be $250. And you have the opportunity to earn that for this quarter and for the quarter following that. So that's an extra $500 that you could use towards whatever you need in your life or for your family, right? So be aware of that. I posted in the team page about it if you need to check what the qualification dates are or how to do so. And as always, if you need help, reach out to your upline or to me, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, so that's it for announcements. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share or any recognition that they want to shout out before we get started?
Yeah, I want to recognize Sabina for locking in her first month of Success Starters. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but just really fighting till literally July 30th. She was working so hard to lock it in and messaging so many people and inviting so many people as a brand new coach. So I'm super proud of her dedication, and I know this is just the start of big things for her. So first month of Success Starters, congrats.
That's huge. Congrats. If you guys are new and you don't know what Success Starters is an opportunity where if you earn, or I should say achieve Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, that you earn a free ticket to Summit the following year. So if you are a new coach, that is an absolutely awesome goal to push for. Congrats, Sabine. That's awesome. And I know you were working last minute because we were all in that SC thread together. Awesome work, guys. Does anybody else have anything that they want to shout out?
Can you hear me? I'm talking over you weirdly.
Sorry.
I also just want to say, I think everyone was just so awesome pushing for Success Club at the end of the month. Like, that's one of the best Success Club threads I feel like we've had in a really long time. So, like, shout out to everyone for just not giving up and giving it their all until the end. Because, I mean, I know, like, it's easy to say, like, it's not going to happen for me, but it's another thing to, like, really give it your all until the clock strikes midnight. And I know from personal experience with talking to Nika, like, she literally was working at it till midnight, but her whole thread was too. So I think we did an awesome job as a whole.
Hi. No, I agree, Kelly. I think that was an absolutely awesome thread as well. And if that is something that is helpful for you guys, we can make sure to do that every month. But I am going to say with that same tenacity and that same push is how we should really be beginning every single month and pushing on forward from there, so that, we don't have that happening and we don't have to stress ourselves out. Kelly and I always talk about the fact that a lot of times Success Club has felt like a black cloud over our heads until we help a couple people in a month. But however you want to rally and whatever helps you stay motivated, let us know. We're happy to go the extra mile and do so and work together on that. So thanks to everybody who participated in that. We hope it was helpful. Okay, so let's get on to our call topic tonight. And that I asked a couple of the coaches, or quite a few actually, if they're all on, to share their top takeaways from Coach Summit in New Orleans. So perhaps you're brand new and you don't even know what Coach Summit is, but it is our yearly coach event. And there was about 35,000 of us in New Orleans, for just incredible trainings and networking and celebrity workouts, and we all get to spend time together as a team. And for a lot of us, we met for the first time. So it was really awesome to spend that experience together. And I know that everybody hears different things and takes away different takeaways. So I thought it would be cool to bring that motivation and that inspiration back to you guys and just have everybody share. So hopefully it'll be helpful for you to take away some things to implement yourself in your own business. So I don't have any specific order, you guys, that said you wanted to. So if you just want to unmute yourself, you can do that. I'm going to make sure everybody's muted. Kelly, do you want to go since nobody's going?
Sure, probably be best now that my daughter's actually kind of calm, like trying to chocolate. When I tell her she's not going to be able to have the chocolate tonight, she's probably going to lose it. So, anyway, yeah, I love going to Summit every single year. I feel like for some reason this year's Summit felt like a total whirlwind more so than any other ones, but maybe it just was my flight problems that I had coming in. I have to say, I always think that the biggest highlights of Summit are things that can't be explained in a video, which I know everyone knows by us saying that a million times, but it's just, there's something about being a part of the community, and it really, and on such a large scale, and like really seeing what our mission is and how powerful it is. And I feel like I've literally said this on every Summit. It's my third one, takeaway video, but like seeing the prize winners is just always so powerful to me. Like those people that have really changed their whole lives with our programs and with the help of a coach, and like just seeing the impact that we make in real life, like there is just, it's so powerful. But that aside, I think too, just being part of the workouts too is something where, like we all are working out in our living rooms by ourselves, and it's easy to forget that it's just we're a part of something so much bigger. And I had a brand new coach, Erica, that came, and she mentioned even after the fact, she was like, I had no idea that my favorite part of the whole Summit was going to be working out at 5:30 in the morning with a bunch of crazy people that were working out too. But it's true, it always is. But aside from that, I have to admit, I really liked being able to be a part of the leadership training this year. I feel like I got a lot out of that, like 5 or 6 hours it ran over, so it was so long. But there are a lot of good lessons. One of the things I feel like, Brennan Bouchard, I friggin' loved. Like I just signed up for his, I don't know if I shared this with Empowered Elite, but he's doing like a motivation free, he's giving away that book, the Motivation Manifesto, for like, you just have to pay for your shipping. And then there's a class that he's giving. So I just signed up for that because I absolutely loved him. But he did a talk about high performance habits. And I think, the whole thing just like really, really spoke to me, the whole lecture. But just being a high performer in general, like it's not anything crazy. And I think that's what was so cool to me. It was just being able to, sorry, my daughter's like touching my notes. But so these were the things that he said that were the things to be, no, you can't have that. Be a high performer, or to be fully engaged, to find the joy, and to summon confidence. And there were other things. I could go literally on and on about that one lecture, and I'm happy to share other things I know I did for our team call. I went really into detail about it, but just deliberate habits that can bring you to the next level and generate this positive energy so that you're operating from a place that is excited, because other people feel your energy and feel your joy so much. And so often, like, we go through the motions or we're not in a good place, and we think that when we get to a place, we're going to be more joyful. But in fact, it's our responsibility to operate from the place of joy, because other people are feeling that energy so much. And then just another thing was just raising the necessity. Like I love that. I think it's something that I have seen that I've done from day one, and that I see in other coaches that are successful too, is you have to make these things that are the important things, the most important things all the time. Like we always, and then I was listening to something else actually last night where she was saying that people get around the diamond point or before diamond, and they start thinking that there's all these other things that they should be doing. And then usually their coach will say like, no, you just got to stick with the vitals and keep doing it over time. And I think that was a really big point that he made in his talk, is like, it is nothing crazy or special. And it's, you know, no matter how many times I hear it, it always rings true. I definitely was one of those people that went through a period of big distractive mode, like creation all the time, instead of really dialing into what it is that got me to where I was in the first place. So just being reminded of how important it is to do the most important thing all the time, and always question, like, am I doing the most important thing that's moving my needle forward in my business right now? What else? Sorry, how much do you want me to share? I don't know. Do you want me to share more?
No, I love that. You can keep sharing, but I think one of the things that stuck out to me that he said that I love so much was that he said that your brain works best, like, in highly productive mode in 50-minute increments. And I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, because I don't know about you guys, but like you can do a power hour and then like your brain feels kind of frazzled. And instead of saying like, screw it, I'm not going to do anything else, to like step back and give yourself breaks, like to reward yourself, to like get up and go do something else for a few minutes and then like come back refreshed for another like 50-minute increment. And I mean, that obviously goes for your business, but it can also go for other things in your life too, which I just thought was really cool.
Yeah. I love that. The other things that I wrote down that I wanted to share was the, I mean, and this is something, Dana, I feel like you and I have been talking about this for a while, like how we don't necessarily, like, throughout the whole tenure of like all of the years, whatever, do like necessarily like 5 invites or have done 5 invites every single day. But I love the concept of winning the week, because it's something where I'm like, okay, I hate to admit that I don't do 5 invites every day, but if I don't do 5 invites yesterday, then you better believe I'm making them up tomorrow. So I thought that the win the week idea to share with the teams was really helpful for me, because I like to be able to pass on what I actually do. And that was something that was, can you please, no, you gotta hold on, please, thank you. So being able to pass that along, I think, is gonna be really good for all of our teams too. And then the other thing was, I don't even know who it was, Dana, but when they were talking about just like the different stages of your business and the evolution of the business, and who, like, at different stages in your business, what you should be focusing on, I guess, like the most. And I found, I mean, it's again like something that we've covered. I'll let someone take over. I'll let someone else take over. Chocolate situation.
I'm looking at my notes from him right now to see if there's anything else I can add to that. But what she was talking about, and I can just highlight real quick, is that he says that, you know, to be extraordinary, they became that way through habits. Like when you look at highly successful people, and more successful people are less stressed. They're more confident that they will achieve. They work towards their goals despite adversity. They have mastered quality output, like what I was just talking about, and like working in smaller increments with really focused work, instead of, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes you sit down and you just feel really distracted, or like you don't feel like you're kind of like in the mindset mojo of what you need to be doing, but like trying to be mindful of when you sit down to know exactly what you need to get done and being really focused about it. Work passionately regardless of the rewards, which I think is a huge one. And then the other thing that I wrote down that I highlighted, because I absolutely loved it, he said, never ask your mission to bow down to your limited human strengths. And I loved it. Kelly, are you over your chocolate fit? Did you want to finish?
Yeah, that's fine for now. So the other thing was about like there was a lecture about the stages of coaches and the evolution of a coach. And for me, I feel like I always, like, I think we all do, like, really want to make sure that we're getting our coaches started off on the right foot. And I really liked that, I mean, she went through and talked about, like, at each level, like, okay, emerald, diamond, star diamond, like, what things do we need to be focusing on, and what of the vital behaviors is like 0.5% more important, because they're always all important, obviously. But at the coach rank, I loved that she said that the biggest thing you could do is to make sure your coaches are understanding that their first step is to get a transformation, and because they can't help other people until they help themselves. And it's, I mean, again, like something that we know, but just like dialing it in. Okay, like at when they're a coach, like they're getting in the door, you're helping them see that they need to first get a transformation and help people share it, and then figure out how to help them best according to their language.
Kelly, we can come back to you if you want. You guys know how it goes. This used to be Declan like 3 months ago. Screaming bloody murder. Okay, so to give Kelly time to go be a mom. Ashley, do you want to go next? Because I know that you only have limited time while you're at work if you get called back in.
Yeah, that'd be great. Because then if something happens, I can run and I won't feel
Give her a round of applause for hopping on at work like she does.
So I can't get my phone to sit properly, so you guys are gonna be really close to my face. But can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. So the one thing that really, well, a lot of things stuck out to me as far as the community and seeing people and just kind of being involved and being surrounded by so many people that are being impacted by this community, and then the products and all that jazz was really wonderful. But one of the things that was really, that kind of struck me, and I still think about it almost every day, was Amy Silverman's talk. And I follow her a bit on Facebook and that kind of stuff. And I like how like in your face she is, and she has like, she does not hold anything back, and she's very honest. And I like that about her. Not that I always want to hear that what I'm doing isn't good enough or right, or not, like I'm not pushing myself hard enough is what I mean. But I really like to talk. So anyway, so what she talked about was it was navigating the search for quality people. And we hear the quote a lot, like it's quality over quantity. And we hear that all the time and all the time and all the time. And what she said was like, that is 100% true. But in order to find those quality people, you have to go through the quantity of talking to so many people. And I know that that's an area that I really struggled the past year-ish, while I've been kind of going from part-time to dabbling to now trying to get more involved with this business, is I was spending so much time talking to people that were kind of draining me and like needed so much attention but never wanted to fully commit. I was spending so much time on them that I wasn't talking to enough people to really hit my goals personally as a business, but then also help the people that really want to be helped. So she said, you need to invest your time looking for people, not dragging people along. So much of time is wasted on people who are not worthy, so protect your energy. And she suggested that we spend 80% of our time finding more people and 20% of our time on the people who want your help. And that like blew my mind. So I know some of us are pro donuts or kind of colder invites. Some of us are against that, and that's fine. Everybody has their own niche. But I've found that I've kind of been doing it both ways, half and half. And I've been getting more conversations started than ever before, and reconnecting with people in the past just by using some of the simple scripts like Raina Odell's I kind of changed around, and that really helped me. She said to kind of look at yourself and figure out what's really holding you back, whether it's fear or doubt or past experience or limiting beliefs or ego. But you really need to kind of step back and figure out if you're thinking with your mind, your heart, or your gut, because those are three different things. They all have their own place, but you can't let the fear of what people are going to think about you stop you from what you could potentially achieve and what you want to do in your own right. Like you got to be yourself, and you have to speak true to yourself. So screw what everyone else is going to say. As long as you're comfortable with it and you're happy, go for it. And I love that. So I think the quote she used was, what people think of you is none of your business. And I love that. Go Amy. And then she also said that besides just doing stuff on social media, because that's what we do all the time, she follows the 3-foot rule. So anytime she's out in the real world, if someone comes within her 3 feet, which I'm bad with distance and space, even as like an x-ray tech, and I have to do like super delicate formulations and stuff. I always joke that I was going to have to tattoo inch marks on my finger so I could remember, but so use the arm bubble maybe. So if people come within your arm bubble, you have to talk to them, whether it's like, hey, how's your day? Or talking in the grocery store, because you never know who you might be able to help or who might be wanting a solution or needing help. And actually, while I was there, I cannot tell you how many people I saw forming with people making our shakes or driving the bus, and like people signing people up in the airport. Like it was amazing. how many people were going out there and talking to people. And I assume it's because they listened to Amy's talk and thought it was amazing too. So, but yeah, so all in all, it's just a numbers game. And yes, it's still quality over quantity, but you got to talk to a lot of people. And that was my like biggest takeaway from this whole thing. So that's all.
Thank you, Ashley. I absolutely love that. That definitely is a huge takeaway. I think that so often you might think like, I talked to 30 people and like, 21 said no to you. And I guess that you have to start looking at objections as it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your value or who you are or what you have to offer. It's just that it's not right for somebody. And I always like to remind myself that every single person on this team, and even at Summit, looking around at the 30,000+ people, that someone had the courage to invite every single one of those people. And if that doesn't give you some level of comfort that there are people out there just like us that need our help, I don't know what will, but that always helps remind me, that there is tons of people out there just like us. We just have to continue to seek to find them. I absolutely love what you shared, Ashley. Thank you. Stephanie, do you want to go next? You're mouthing me.
Okay. I don't know what I missed because for some reason I was stuck that it was a 9 o'clock call, not an 8:30. What the hell? I didn't read the thing. I just went with you've been doing 9 o'clock. Hello, I'm here. I've been sitting at my table with the computer in front of me for the past 45 minutes. Okay, so what did I miss though? Can somebody fill me in? Because I don't want to repeat anything.
Oh, Kelly was just go ahead because I can guarantee you're probably not going to repeat anything that's been said yet.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest things that kind of stuck out with me was Shalene, like her talk, and her 3 rules, I guess you could say, that she was talking about, and the whole concept of the curiosity marketing instead of attraction marketing. Because I find that a lot of people, and nothing obviously against, newer coaches, because we all go through it, but a lot of coaches, even when you're scrolling through social media, not necessarily just this team, but they'll tag the workout, they'll tag Beachbody, they'll show a picture of, Shakeology in their post. So it's not really doing what Shalene was saying, where she was saying that you want it to be something that's going to bring upon a question rather than, hey, look, I'm doing Shift Shop. So now the person that sees your post is going to go and Google Shift Shop and find out that they could just go on the website and they don't need to buy a challenge pack and they can pay it off, because if you go through beachbody.com, there's a payment plan. So instead of helping somebody with this, you now just lost somebody because you didn't give them something to be curious about. You didn't give them an opening to reach out and say, hey, what's going on? So the 3 things that she had spoken about, the borrowed words are for birds. So just talking about being authentic to you. And, when you're doing your posts, speak from you. You don't want to use somebody else's words. I know one of the things that we tend to say is to go and look at other coaches, see their posts, see how they write things. And yes, that's great for a guide, but you don't want to see somebody's post and say, hey, this is perfect. Maybe I'll just rewrite it in 2 weeks. Or you don't want to copy and paste somebody's post, or even just share somebody else's post, because then it's not you. So it looks like you're just sharing something and not taking the time. So how are you going to attract anybody if you're not showing that you're even taking the time to write a post? Then the don't tell me you're about to sell me, where again, you don't want to sell the product. Don't sit there and be like, oh, I've got the best deal for you ever. Like, we're not salesmen. That's not what we're doing. I mean, if you want to go sell cars, but that's not what we're doing here. So I thought that was important, because I think we all in the moment, and we've all done it, I'm sure, we get caught up at certain points and we're kind of like, well, wait, let me tell you about this, because this is a great deal. And because you don't want to lose them and you don't want them to back away. And I know I'm very guilty of doing that. So it's just something to be a little more mindful of, I think, in your conversations. And then finally, the likes wear thin, questions are what wins. So I think one of the big things is just with the engagement. Yes, likes are great. You want to get likes from people because it shows that they're looking through it. But honestly, how many times do you scroll through Facebook or Instagram and just like everybody's posts because, hey, it's your friend? So, one of my closest friends told me half the time she doesn't read my post. She just likes it because she knows that it'll be good for me to have it back up on the feed. So I don't want that. I want people to read my posts. So while that's great that you're getting it liked, you want something that's going to make them stop and really question what the purpose of your post is. So I thought that was really important. And the way she spoke about it, plus she's just friggin' awesome. And she has such an energy about her. Like you can't help but like want to just sit and listen to her. But yeah, so, and just like the few other key things that she was saying. And one thing that I loved, you don't need to be outstanding, but you need to stand out. So you don't need to be the top dog. You just want to do something that's going to set you apart from other people. And just like kind of tying that into something with me, a lot of people write about how, they've done this great and they're doing this great. And, they came over this, issue in their life and how Beachbodies helped them and stuff. And one of the things that I tended to do after having my daughter is I showed all the struggles. I mean, a lot of my posts for a long time, up until probably the past couple months, were negative. Like, I couldn't get a workout in because I can't handle it with the baby. I'm not sleeping. My eating sucks. And, that's not what the top coaches are doing, but that's what I was doing. And what I found is that actually did help me stand out more, because I did get responses from people like, I love how real you are. I love how authentic it is. So you don't want to copy the mode of everybody else. You kind of want to be your own person, and eventually it will bring you to where you need to be instead of where they are and where you're striving to be. Does that make sense, the way I just analyze that? Because sometimes I think differently than what I want to say. So, yeah. Okay.
No, it totally made sense. I love that. And it's definitely so true. And I love the other thing that she said at the end of that was, she said, remind yourself when you think, I'm not sure if I can do this, to tell yourself, if somebody else has done this, why not me? And somebody else said that in one of their speeches too. Like, somebody has already achieved and done every single thing that you want to do. So why not you? Loved it. Thank you, Steph.
Sure.
Okay. So I muted myself. Sorry. Kayla, do you want to go next?
Sure. So mine's gonna kind of just be short and simple because I've had a really busy 2 days and I didn't get out of work until like 8 o'clock tonight. So I didn't have a whole lot prepared. I have a lot of things to say, but I'll just say one thing. This is my first summit, and my favorite part about it, honestly, was I know Kelly had an awesome house plan for all of us and everything, and that was gonna be really exciting. And we ended up falling through and having a room with other people and whatnot. But that was probably my favorite part of going to summit. I made 3 really awesome friends: Rachel, Christina, and Marissa. And I don't know, I guess just going there, at first I waited till 3 weeks beforehand to buy my plane ticket to go because I wasn't sure that I should be going anyways. But going there and meeting all the people that I met, and just even the people that I met on my plane ride down or on my plane ride home that I've connected with and I'm closer with here now because they live close to me, was just awesome. And you make so many connections and so many friends there that it's indescribable. And meeting all of you guys who I see virtually every week, that was probably my biggest takeaway because I learned a lot while I was down there. So that's pretty much all I have for now.
I love that. I felt the same way too the first year I went because I stayed with total strangers. But I just think that going to Summit, you have that experience of you are a part of something so much bigger, and that people really are this way in real life, that it's not just this fake facade of happiness and love and positivity, that it is real and it's even better in person. So I love that. And that should be for all of you that are not yet registered for next year to make sure you come, right, Kayla?
Hey, Dana, I'll go.
Yeah,
Jumping
go
off
ahead,
of
Rachel.
Kayla's, I was going to say the same thing that she said, actually. I was like super excited to go to Summit for the first time, and I got a room and I was like, oh, this is awesome. And I was like, but I have no roommates. I don't want to be like alone in a sea, like in a sea of 30,000 gooches. Like I kept messaging Dana, like, please send me people. Like, don't leave me alone here. And I knew that I wouldn't necessarily be alone, but you kind of want that like camaraderie. So I'm kind of glad that Kelly's house fell through because I got awesome roommates and we had so much fun. And Kayla is like a whole other level of like commitment, where she like rolled her ankle on the first day and literally like never stopped. She was like, I'm going to work out. And that would have been my excuse to like quit from the minute, like sleep in and eat eggs and bacon and stuff. So I'm totally glad that she was with me to like be like, she's so strong. I'm strong. We're all strong together. Like the whole, team vibe was definitely there. And personally for me, I just started a new job. This was actually a goal that I had. I think, Dana, you had this on a call, like maybe when I first started coaching was like 2 years ago. And you were like, okay, what are your like really big goals? And my goals were like really huge. So I probably didn't even tell anyone except for Steph that I needed like a new job. I wanted to start a family. Like I had all these like serious life changing like things that were coming. And I found through this team, through coaching, through just finding myself in this, that I got more confident and successful. Sorry, getting a little emotional. and now, like 2 years later, like it totally came true, and like I was able to just go there and just like be the person I know I am. And thank you. But I want to say that the one thing that really stood out from the speeches, like I needed to hear, that was like there, was all about confidence and like breaking through fear. And I'll remember, I think it was in Darren Hardy's speech where he was like, everyone look around the room and how many people can name like one person that was really like rude and mean to you, like name them like right off the top, and like everyone raised their hand. And then he was like, okay, how many people can name like 5 people that like really kind of sucked and like, just made you feel really bad, and you change your behavior for that. And like a still significant amount of people like had their hand up. And then when he was like, it went on and on until you got to like, 20 people, and he was like, please give those like sad people a hug. But at the end of the day, how many other people have like totally accepted you and like loved it? And you look around the room and you're like, holy shit, like those numbers outweigh the terrible people. And he was like, why are you letting like 10 jerks like ruin your life? And that was what I was dealing with at my job. I had 2 bosses basically that were really making me feel like I wasn't good enough or confident enough to like do, like my ideas weren't resonating. And that was sort of the thing I needed to like get out of my head to like reinvent myself and come in. And I'm like at a new manager like kind of role here, and a new position, like really helping others and coaching others. And it really like worked for me, that I was literally in Summit texting my coworker going like, 10 jerks, I can't believe we're like letting 10 jerks like run our life, and like sending her like, you have to read this book and all that. So that for me was very, very like powerful. And I still like, would definitely like, take that into my new like career. And I found like a new sense of motivation. If anyone's like following me on Facebook now, I've been much more consistent and trying to find a little more inspiration in my posts and a little more positivity and less sort of selling of like, this workout is awesome and it's available for a limited time. And it's more like, hey, it's working for me and you are all great. You should work for you too, and like be the best that you can be. And I got a text yesterday from a friend of mine, and just was an inspirational quote. And she was like, I don't know, I saw this and thought of you. So it's resonating. Like people like around my bubble and my world are just sort of like liking that my post, they're looking forward to it. And this sort of the curiosity that I'm trying to build up, that like it will sort of, have an avalanche effect, I hope. So the next few months will be a little easier and not as much of a struggle it's been for me. So thanks.
I love it. First of all, I'm so happy for you. Second of all, I think that you just really nailed, number one, the influence that this, can have on your life and the impact it can make on you as a person, but also in how you shift that into being a purpose of influencing other people in your life. And that's really powerful stuff. So thank you for sharing that, Rachel. Let's see, is Kelly Spencer on? Oh no, she's here. Maybe not. Megan, I think you look like you're doing dishes. I just got you out of chores for a minute.
How am I supposed to follow that? She made people cry. It was nice connecting with you, Rachel, too. So two things that really stood out, and I just wanted to page through. I have like a few notes with like things circled, but two things that really stood out to me. First of all, I was really impressed by Carl. Like when he speaks, people listen. I really liked we all know that he's laid back and like informal, but I came away from Summit feeling more trusting of the company that I ever had, and just with the way everything's laid out and everything's like, they have everything thought out really in a very deep way. So I feel like my experience at Summit made me like release the reins a little bit and just be like, okay, whatever Carl says to do makes sense. And not like in a zombie way, but in like just a very respectful way. I thought that when he spoke to us, he said some meaningful things, and I don't have a lot of notes because I ended up taking video of his talk about he needed us sitting next to him and working with him, and like he sees every single one of us as like his co-CEO in a way. And like I really loved his talk about his group that Kelly was in with the what was it called, Kelly? Like the I'm Here to Help group. So he explained kind of more about that group and working more closely with coaches, and I was really impressed by that. So that was my first takeaway, was just being more impressed with the company on a whole. And I want to talk about something that stood out to me about Brendan Burchard and his talk. So first of all, he was like very entertaining to watch. Like he's a performer for sure. And he got up on stage and he like moved around a lot. He was really engaging. It was really fun watching him. But there was a point when he was speaking when I just started to cry. And so it stuck out to me. He was talking about, so his main point of it was, I must jump in and face my fear. So he was talking about fears. And so he said, first of all, you need to listen through your fears instead of letting your fears control you. So that was like his main thing that he said. But what I took away from his talk was a little bit more than that. So he was talking about how he went skydiving for the first time, and he was like basically terrified. And he went through this whole long story about it. But there were like all these mishaps that happened. And oh yeah, I missed that part, that he was from Montana. So anyway, there were all these mishaps that happened along the way, and like it was comical. But he said, and I wrote this down, he said, I never would have bought the package if this was the commercial. And so he went through like all of these terrible things that he had to go through with like the fear, and like his friend got pushed out of the plane and nobody was expecting it, and like just all these things that whatever. But he said, but I wouldn't have achieved the beauty of the outcome if I hadn't gone through and faced my fears. And he talked about like, oh my God. And he was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And like the way he enacted it, I took a video of him doing this because like, it was just like really awesome to see the struggle that he went through, and like pushing through this, thing that he went through, but then seeing like this joy of reaching like the top of his journey, and looking back and saying like it was all worth it basically. And it just really hit me. So that was a takeaway that I had from Brendan. Let's see. Melanie Mitchell said, every time you think you've tried it all, list what you've tried, which I thought was good. she talked a lot about her anxiety, which was really interesting, and how she said you have to make a decision that it won't control you, and know your outcome. Somebody said, who was this in the workshop? Somebody said, just do it even if you suck. Let's see. Darren, I don't know. Darren was really interesting to listen to. He just kind of rambled. He like ran out of time because he didn't come prepared, and he rambled a little bit. But he talked a lot about macronutrients and how like when you're more stressed from different stressful environments that your nutrient demand goes up. And he that was pretty much what he talked about. There's something else in here I wanted to say. Amy Silverman was great, like Ashley said. Liz and Christina Delgado were awesome, and they talked about, and they said the number one goal that you have, and this is going to sound weird like without context, but they said your number one goal is to get leverage. And what that meant was they were talking about really digging deep into the why of your person that you're speaking with, so that at the end of your conversation, when they're like, no, enter objection here, then you can go back and remind them about all the leverage items that they had in the first place, which is why they started talking to you about why they were interested in the fitness in the first place. And then for follow-ups as well. So she was basically, they were saying, like, figure out what that leverage is of what they need, and write that down so you can always remind them. They suggested that we help 100 people craft hashtag I'm Team Beachbody Stories. What else? Sorry, I just circled a bunch of stuff. Overall, it was like Kelly said, it was definitely a whirlwind. I mean, basically we were at a workout at 6 a.m, and then we had breaks to eat. So like we would, there was a break to eat like a late breakfast, and then a lunch and a dinner. And literally we were sitting and listening to people talk until 10:30. And then we were all like, well, we want to like talk to each other. So it was very limited sleep. It was very whirlwind-esque, like Kelly said. Who was this? Darren Hardy talked a lot about really digging into your why and why power. And he talked about the, I'm going to mess this up, Dana, so maybe you can talk about the motivation of grabbing the $20 bill in the burning building. But that was good. So who was it? Was it Carl that said to have fanatic discipline? So that's something to come away with.
That might have been from Darren, actually.
Oh, maybe.
Well,
Okay.
I just have like a couple things that I wrote down from his speech, and it says success is earned one day at a time. You cannot own success, you rent it. So your horizon has to continue to get bigger and bigger. It's not what you know, it's what you do with what you know. People need to be reminded more than they need to be instructed. You have to rewire your operating system to have higher standards, which I thought was cool. Is that kind of what you were getting at, Megan?
Yeah.
And he said, why aren't you setting goals that match your potential? Which I loved.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
If you guys don't know, Darren Hardy is the author of The Compound Effect, which is definitely a book that everybody should read if you haven't yet.
Those were my big takeaways. It was fun to meet everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan.
And the entrepreneurial roller coaster. I've been
Yes.
reading that, and it's been super helpful. Joe made me start reading it. So
Good. Awesome. Let's see. Okay, who else did we have on here? I think Jordan texted me that she had to get off. Did she come back on yet or no?
Serena was there.
Maybe not. Is she? Oh, Serena. Serena, do you want to share? And Sari couldn't get on because she had a work meeting. I don't know if Serena's there or not. Okay, Kelly. Riley, where are you at? Did you want to share?
Oh, hey, sorry, I'm muting myself. I didn't have anything planned because I wasn't honestly sure if I was on the lineup, but I'm sure happy to talk.
The top thing that comes to your mind, your top takeaway.
Okay. All right. So I think I probably have two things. So number one, this is just more because I've met some of you guys obviously before at the Empowered Elite retreat, but I felt like sometimes in all these calls, you kind of feel like everyone's like this fake person, because not meaning like not nice fake, but fake person, because you just see them on these Zoom calls for years, and it's like they're like these characters, you know. And so the fact that I got to like literally see so many people like in the flesh, I felt like it was kind of like this weird dream, but it was so cool because of all these calls all the time. I honestly felt like we knew each other, like went right into going to that first Empowered Elite luncheon and a room full of all of us, and everyone was the connection between everyone when no one truly knew anyone other than maybe some handfuls of people were just so amazing. Because I can tell you in all the other like work experiences that I've been in, there hasn't been that. So right off the bat of meeting someone day one, you felt like you had known them forever. And I just think it kind of showed the just how unique this experience is, because we're all given this amazing job opportunity, number one, but we've also been given this amazing opportunity to just have the most amazing and true and genuine friendships. And I think the fact that we are spread out throughout the whole country and islands and everywhere, it's just, to me, I was like, this is so cool, because I was kind of nervous, like how it would be meeting everyone. So that for me, it was kind of like a big takeaway of just how legit this really is. And also, let me see, what was my other quick one? I had a little book that I was writing things down, but now that I was asked, so I was like, oh my goodness. I think a lot of the things that everyone had kind of said, obviously I agree with. I know one comment, one of the things they had said before, I forgot who said it, but they said, you know, don't be white noise. Do you remember who said that?
Shalene did.
It was Shalene.
I think her talk was just so, I honestly had never heard her talk before, and I've never done one of her programs. So I didn't really know her. And I thought when she was going to get on stage that, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect. But when she came on stage, like pumping and grumping, going nuts, like she was insane. Like her just whole vibe was so cool. And now I totally do. I see that, Jana. I need to see her podcast. But her whole thing going into it, talking about, you know, don't be white noise, you know, what you had mentioned before, Steph, on obviously number one, you know, be proof that the product works, number one. If you are not committing to a program and you aren't showing people results, then why are other people going to believe you? So number one, do the programs. We know they work. That's why we're here, and we're trying to obviously share that with others, but be proof. It also said, she said that thing, I think, Steph, I don't know if you said this, your ego is not your amigo. Was that one her too? And I thought that was just so cool. So obviously just to slam my photos into our place a couple times. And then
That was Amy Silverman.
that one's Amy. Oh, see, I'm blending things. Crap. Sorry, guys. But yeah, and then I had all her other things, same thing that Steph said, you know, the likes were thin, questions are what wins, you know, curiosity takes action, leak out details, obviously. And I think what I started to notice on there too is, like, I started to take away, like on my Instagram page and on my Facebook page, I took away the Beachbody title. I just put down something different about, you know, health and fitness. I forgot even what I said, but something along the lines, but I didn't say Beachbody, because I started to quickly look at my post to say, am I posting about Shakeology and saying Shakeology over and over? Because she kept saying, like, don't say all these things all the time, because as Steph had mentioned, someone's going to go and find it. There is, the internet out there, and people can just go on Amazon and go buy their containers and go buy this and go buy that. But as we know, people that go and do a lot of that, they might be great and do wonderful in the beginning. But if you don't have the support groups and the accountability groups that we all are here and offer, then many people don't ever succeed with it. So we just want to kind of share the value of what we have to offer, because it's pretty amazing what people can be given. I mean, they have their own personal trainer and cheerleader day in and day out, which is pretty amazing. I know it's why I continued 2 years later. But those are the big ones, and I think everyone else kind of mentioned a lot of the same things. But I do have to say, last year I kicked myself in the butt for not going to Summit, and I ended up buying my Summit ticket the day that Summit ended, because I saw everyone post all these videos and pictures that many of you saw that hadn't gotten a chance to go. And I said there was no way I wasn't going to go no matter what. And of course, I bought my Summit ticket already. I have to say, if you're even on the fence, get it. Summit of being there. You might be a little tired, but it was the most amazing experience, and it definitely gave me a whole new high and energy, and made me really believe in the company, believe in the people behind the company, that they truly are here to support us and look out for our best interests. And I am super psyched that I decided to take a chance on a stupid Facebook post. So everyone go get your Summit tickets. We'll figure out rooms.
I love that. I just had something I was thinking about to add about the whole the Chalene thing about curiosity marketing, is that, like, I remember really early on as a coach that somebody said to me, like, you're not selling products. Beachbody is already branded. Shakeology is branded. Like, everything that we have to offer people is already branded. You are branding and selling yourself and what you have to offer and your story and who you are as a person and why somebody would want to work with you. And yes, you have these incredible tools and programs and things to offer people to help them along on their journeys, but what you're really selling is you. And I think that just kind of goes right along with that whole curiosity marketing piece, and not just name dropping, because you're marketing you above all else. So thank you, Kelly. Caught you off guard. I like to keep you on your toes.
That's a shocker.
Okay, is Serena still on? Serena, I saw you pop in. Did you want to share? You don't have to if you don't want to. I just want to give you the opportunity.
She had said she's doing some behind the scenes stuff and she's listening, but she's wiped out.
Okay. All right, my introvert friend. I hear ya loud and clear. I get it. Okay, so what I wanted to share, because it's already 9:36, before I close up the call, is there anything else that anybody wanted to mention? Or Kelly, did you want to finish what you were saying, or no? You're over it? Okay.
I know where I left off at this point. And my kid is like literally passing out at the table, telling me that he's tired. So I think I did a good job today. Just want to say that.
Good job, Mom. High five.
I just want to tell you, Kel, the dress looks hot. You look gorgeous.
Yeah. My husband
Damn,
really
Ryan, for coming home late.
typical.
Okay, if nobody has anything else to add, I'm just gonna go through, obviously, literally, I obsess and soak in everything that we hear at Summit. And the experience itself is something that, this was my 4th Summit, but it is more life-changing, it seems, every single time. And I'm going to share something that I found really helpful, but also just kind of want to share a little bit of my heart with you at the end, because you know me and that's how I roll. So this was from the Brendan Burchard talk, and not from the leadership one, but the regular one, I think, actually. But it's his 5 keys to success. And I just thought that they were really simple, but they're really impactful if you think about how they pertain to you, and your journey and your life. And in my, reflection from, where I started as a new coach to now, I can say that they are all extremely important and all very true. And before I dive into those 5 things, one thing that I wrote down that I highlighted was he said that your main priority is to rise above your yesterday. And he said, quote, like, make your switch, but to rise and be a little bit better than where you were yesterday, because the level that is required of you to reach the success and ambition and, desires that you have for your life are going to require a different level of you. And I think that really speaks perfectly to why personal development is so important. So the 5